Buddies. Thanks again for tuning in for our review of the penultimate episode of Big Little Lies entitled Burn in Love. I'm Bethany.
I'm Kristin.
And tonight, in the spirit of strong female friendships, which we've talked about at length on both this podcast and on our Feud podcast, we have a Boob Tube Bestie guestie on tonight. Our best friend, Tarin. Hi, Tarin.
Hi.
Tearing it up.
Tarin has also read the book and has been watching the show with us. And the three of us actually have a group chat where basically all we do is talk Big Little Lies.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. I just got us in trouble.
Oh, no.
Thank God nobody else listens to us.
None of our friends listen.
But I am so glad that you are here with us tonight, Tarin. And let's cheers, ladies.
Thank
Chin
you.
chin.
I'm happy to be here.
Clink, clink,
To
clink.
friendship.
To friendship.
To Big Little Lies.
To lying to your friends.
To podcasts. Kristin. Oh, no. I was going to say, do you want to...
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook. Please visit boobtubebuddies.com and please email us any inquiries, concerns, praises at boobtubebuddies@gmail.com.
Speaking of email, thank you so much for doing that. Literally before we started recording, Kristin's like, "Can you do that part? I don't want to do it." And I was like,
And
"Yeah."
then she starts, and I'm like, actually, here's how it goes.
No, I throw it to you, and you're like,
You did a great job, I think.
It's all downhill from here.
We got 2 emails when we were so excited.
I know.
The first was from Sarah H, and she was writing in actually about our conversation on working moms and stay-at-home moms, and basically the pressure we put on ourselves, and the difficulty of finding good women friends, all of it. It was an awesome email, and I have to say, you and I kind of talked about it, that we were just excited that something we said in between
Resonated.
dick jokes
resonated. Exactly.
Yeah. And it actually mattered. So thank you again so much, Sarah H, for listening and reaching out. We really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Our second email is from David P, who said essentially that he likes our podcast, he thinks we're funny, but that we need to lay off on our teasing of Miss Kidman. So,
I mean, I've been pretty rough on her. I know that I have over the past couple episodes.
Well,
but...
I told David, thank you for your honest and constructive feedback, because we want that, we need that. And we kind of aim to spread the rude comments, like, evenly amongst all the actors.
Exactly. I try to be an equal opportunist.
So what I'm taking from this email is we need to make a lot more fun of Shailene and Reese. And
we're not spreading it out enough.
What is there bad to say about Reese?
Here's how I feel about this. My husband told me a long time ago when I was, like, worried about something on my body, and he goes, "Babe, you don't need to worry about that because I'm judging something else."
What does that mean?
It just means, like, no woman...
What was on your body?
No woman needs to worry about their thighs or their teeth or anything like that, because what you think everybody's judging you for is the complete opposite of what they're actually judging you for. And so I want to make sure that we do spread this out.
Well, and, again, at the end of the day, and I told you this, she's a beautiful, successful, talented, rich actress, and you and I are just a couple of trolls sitting in my living room.
Exactly. We are nothing to write home about.
On a podcast. She wins.
She definitely wins.
But please keep the emails coming, guys. We get so excited. We love them no matter what they are. boobtubebuddies@gmail.com, and we'll give you a shout out.
Yes. Thank you, David. Thank you, Sarah.
Do you have any housekeeping for
I do.
BLL?
I do, actually. On the previously on in this episode of Burning Love, it showed Perry dumping the toys on her head.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that in the original episode. We talked about that last week, how in the book...
No, but they showed a clip of it. They showed when she's in the therapist's office, you know how they go back and forth?
Oh, is that what... I rewound it, but I didn't go that far either. So yeah. I was like, wait, did they or not? So my housekeeping...
Your housekeeping was shit.
It was shit.
Tonight, our game, 2 Truths and
Mathis, edit that out.
One Big Little Lie is a little different. And we haven't told Tarin this.
Uh-oh.
But she's actually going to be playing the game. And Kristin and I have come up with the 2 Truths and a Lie. So we will read 3 things to you about the show. And you have to pick out which one's the lie. And if you get it wrong, we pour our beers over your head.
Okay, so if you're just going to change like a month of something, then
You don't know what we're going to change.
I am going to fail.
I hate that shit. That is my biggest
Or
complaint about
artichoke
this.
I did that to her last week. It was like one of the facts, the actual fact was the father of, and I changed it to the brother of.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
That's not, we didn't do that. And we're not going to waste beer by pouring it over your head.
No, actually.
Well, I'll keep my mouth
open. If you get it wrong, you have to find... You have to think of your absolute biggest lie and find that person and tell them on air.
Oh, no.
Just kidding. That was a big little lie.
Oh, pun princess, Kristin. Okay, let's get into the episode.
Any chance I get.
So I didn't realize this because they keep playing this music throughout the episode.
Papa was a Rolling Stone?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't recognize it. So I was like, why are they playing this cheesy... police music while the
then
police...
you hear the lyrics at the end.
I know, but in the beginning I'm like, I hate this music that they chose.
What are the lyrics at the end?
It was like, Mama, I'm depending on you to be honest about my dad. Like, it's like about being honest about your dad, and he really like focuses on her. But I will say...
Little on the nose.
Absolutely. I will say that this was actually the music and the scenes at the end where he's like, Mom, watch me and all that. They used that song in all the previews before... the show actually started, so it was cool to see them incorporate that. And it was cool to finally hear that song not on Scandal.
Oh, do they use that song on Scandal?
Yes.
I haven't seen Scandal since like the 3rd season.
That's your loss.
I know, you're Shonda.
I love my
Land.
Shonda.
I couldn't. I did the House of Cards, so then I tried to
Well,
switch
that's a
to
lot better
Scandal
quality.
right away, and then
I mean, that's the worst
it
idea.
didn't work out for
She's
me.
like, I watched House of Cards, and then I watched Parks and Rec, and then I watched Scandal, and these political shows hold no candle to House of Cards.
So we get those weird cuts. Jane in her car, the police,
We're gonna dream again.
Weird dance cuts, yeah. And Jane and Madeline are at her house, and Madeline kind of tells her, focus on the future, not the past. And then, okay,
although she was the one to find Saxon.
Well, this is the part that drives me crazy, because Jane's like, were there other Saxons in your internet search? Like, do you not just search the internet?
Google.com.
Why wouldn't she just look herself?
Yeah, and it's just, I mean...
Google whoosy whatsies?
I would have loved to see, like, that actual meeting between Jane and Saxon, because the way they did it in the flashbacks, I want to, like, her dropping the purse and just getting really close to his face and staring at him all crazy-eyed.
I know.
Like, I would have loved to
and
see
I
that
didn't
scene
realize
happen.
after until I was like, oh, they're like gun, and then she's being pulled over, and it's like she's worried about the gun. The whole
I didn't even think about
I thought
that.
she was worried about because she was smoking pot. Wasn't she smoking pot?
Guys, I didn't even think of either of those. I
don't
thought,
think
I'm
so.
speeding this
I thought it
up.
was
I thought
the
she was
gun
smoking.
because she dropped the purse. Because then later she admits to the gun
Bringing
thing.
a gun,
You
right?
guys are way smarter than I am. I didn't think of either of those things. I was just like, that bitch was dumb. Of course she's going to get pulled over. She's like, here, let's go really fast. And see, I thought at that moment, I'm like, see, what was the point in that? Trying to risk your life in 5 seconds just to get like a $200 ticket that you're going to have to worry about the points.
Bad parenting. You have a child at home.
Yes.
Smoking pot, guns in your car, speeding 1,000,000 miles per hour. You kind of just threatened a gentle gay man. You know.
And
Absolutely.
did he see inside her purse? I didn't understand that.
No, he saw inside her soul when she was staring at him in the fucking face. It was so weird.
I feel like they were insinuating he knew something was in her purse because they both...
Sorry, I'm throwing shit to get attention.
Mathis, edit that out. Mathis isn't going to edit that out. He's on vacation. We're stuck with that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Those scenes are a little cheesy for me.
Yeah.
Perry and Celeste. Perry has to go to Phoenix. He's gonna miss the opening of the play. Got every scene with the two of them. I feel my shoulders like.
Where is he going to be a selfish asshole? Where is he going to beat her? Where is he going to go down on her? It's like process of elimination. Well, we haven't seen this yet, so we're obviously going to see this.
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie and Nathan. Abigail's going to reveal her secret project, and she thanks Dad for agreeing to do this dinner with Ed and Madeline.
It's quite telling that she uses the term "her unveiling" is next Wednesday.
Is that what she says? What I don't like is that Bonnie is calling her honey and sweetie, and Zoe Kravitz doesn't look much older than that girl, than Abigail.
Absolutely.
What I don't like about this scene, why I question the director, is that Nathan's holding this bowl. That's all he's doing. And Bonnie's just like picking like the cilantro. picking off the thyme and like putting it in this bowl that's 2 inches off the table. He puts it down, yells at Abby, comes back and holds it back up for her to do the same thing. I didn't understand why Nathan is doing that.
That, and when she was like, I'm just tending to the garden, babe. Like, whatever she said.
We're puddling.
Yes, exactly. Whatever she said, like, it actually did throw me off when she said that. I'm like, that just seems so staged. And you seem like an actor saying lines.
The more we learn about the two characters, they just don't seem like a match made in heaven. Like, they don't seem compatible.
At all.
He thinks all the shit she's doing is dumb as I wanted to say dumb as fuck, but is that an expression?
Well, they mentioned that, like, she says something about the cereal, like, I can't believe you're eating that shit. And then he takes it and he's like, more.
Exactly. I just don't see, like...
Because he's not that. Like, you kind of learn from him and his relationship with Madeline that he wasn't a pushover, so now he's kind of acting...
dumb dingo.
The way they portray Nathan in the show versus the book...
It's not the same.
Like, they're like, Nathan is a deadbeat dad in the book. Like, he, or used to be. And now he's changed. And that's about it. But in the show, it's like, Nathan's a huge douchebag who constantly feels like fighting with Ed.
And he's not very intelligent.
Always trying to prove something to it's just, I don't like how they fleshed out this character whatsoever.
And why is he okay with the virginity thing? Like, why is he like, oh, total change of heart, it's for a good cause? I don't understand that either.
I think that he was maybe just trying to make it as palatable as he could for the dinner.
Yeah.
Because he was pissed.
Yeah.
And that's one of the only moments I like Nathan was in that scene, because I would be livid. And then I don't know why Bonnie was in the middle grabbing the computer from them. Like,
yeah, it wouldn't be like Bonnie to be all up in the middle of that.
It's so hard because we've read the book and we know a little bit more about Bonnie. It's so hard.
So if you're listening to us, the finale of Big Little Lies will be 3 hours long, because then we'll be able to actually get into all the stuff we want to. It's hard, right?
Yes. And how many episodes are left?
One. This was the penultimate.
So how are they going to do everything?
I know. This was the penultimate.
I really hope that they leave out anything with Joseph and Madeline, because there's already still so much to tell in 1 hour that I don't need your additions.
I know. This next scene...
Scruffing up my shit. No,
I love this next scene where the teacher tells Jane about the petition calling for Ziggy's suspension. But she's going to handle it. She feels so bad. We find out fucking Harper started the petition. And Jane's like, enough. And like, Renata's coming out of the school. Jane confronts her and gouges, I'm doing quotation marks,
is a basketball player, straight up channels Anthony Hardaway.
Gouges her eye.
But channels a basketball player who gets tapped and is like, oh God, like, you've killed me.
Oh, I'll sue you. She's such a wimp.
When she does come to apologize, which we'll get to, the patch on her eye.
Oh my God. It's so ridiculous.
And then it's gone the next day.
Yeah.
Well, and of course. It's not like she was even doing it for Jane's benefit, because she didn't know Jane was coming over. That's just her being her.
Over dramatic.
I'm abused. My daughter's abused. We're all victims.
We're all abused.
Exactly.
Oh. No, guys. Celeste is abused.
Yeah, meanwhile, she's covering up her bruises with makeup.
Meanwhile, Maddie's like, you've got the perfect life, Celeste.
I need that makeup to cover up my liver spots on my face.
Camouflage by...
It's just makeup.
Camouflage by Hard
I
Candy.
need makeup.
I grind down fallen leaves and water and Vaseline.
Anything by Kat Von D will work.
Oh.
I only buy CoverGirl.
Well, that's not going to cover you, girl.
It does come off rather quickly.
If
you'll notice.
Kind of the worst name ever.
Maybelline, so.
Mom's Maybelline.
Maybe she's born with it? No, that's Maybelline.
Disgusting. Little patchy. Little patchy dog.
Jane tells Madeline that she did have her gun when she went to see Saxon.
I lied.
Just and Madison's like, I'm not going to lie. That gives me pause.
I loved that.
And it gives me pause too. But can we talk about the fact that it would give me way pause too? Like, Jane's coming in with this son that might be beating people up. She's carrying guns around to go find this guy that did whatever with her. into my town, like blowing things up, I would be like, I don't know.
Maddie likes the underdog.
Yeah.
Talk about a passion project. Like Jane is her passion project.
That's perfect. But
I agree with you. I think that I would take a step back.
I'd be like,
so guarded.
No. And like at the beginning when she's like, honey, don't focus on the past. Well, don't Google my fucking attacker.
No, that's...
Don't find him for me and tell him we're going to go see him. And then all of a sudden I go see him by myself and you're shocked.
Because Madeline's
with a gun.
Oh shit, this bitch crazy.
She's like, oh wait, so you brought a gun.
She says, why don't I just let sleeping dogs lie or lay? It's like, well, you're kind of like stirring it more than
as she stirs the pot, literally.
Yeah.
She's like, come on, leave it in the past.
I'm cooking the dog that
That's just classic meddling too, where you get someone riled up and then they do something, they misbehave in some fashion, and then you stand aside like,
oh, I don't.
That's crazy.
That's not even me.
No, I didn't tell her to do that. I just Ugh.
Not it.
I like that Jane says that she can't help but hope that he's a good person just because, he is Ziggy's father.
But my favorite was her like dominoing into her thoughts. And she's like, maybe he had a bad night. Maybe he, what did he say? Maybe he had a bad day. Maybe his parents were in a car accident. I was like, whoa, that was 0 to 60.
She was reaching. But I like that wasn't in the book, but that would be a good
thought
process.
You would hope that.
And
absolutely.
it kind of breaks up this whole Jane on a mission to kill him because we see so many cuts of her with that gun and her being wounded.
Needs to stay at Blue Blues.
At Blue Blues.
Because I feel like her most poignant speeches and realizations come from when she's sitting at Blue Blues.
Yeah.
That's because that guy is slipping something into her coffee.
Well, we don't know who that is.
What's his name?
Tom.
Tommy?
Oh, God. The actor that plays him is fine. I recognize him. We should do Oh My God, you know who that is on him, because I know I recognize him from something.
Yeah.
But he's just sort of like...
He's in a ton of shit.
Tom in the book was more manly. I feel like.
Exactly.
It was more of a presence in the book.
Well, no, they thought that he was gay in the book, I thought. They always thought he was gay.
Well, Madeline said something, and she was talking about a different Tom that Jane was doing the books for, and blah, blah, blah. But he had more of a presence in the book.
Yes.
There's some scene
so that I'm curious about.
So, and there was like that one scene where, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Where, just to illustrate how like kind of lame he is, they're talking about not wanting Jane to leave, Madeline and Celeste, and he walks up, he's like, yeah, I don't want you to leave too. And it's like, okay, Tom.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot like all of his lines. I barely even picture him in
right,
it.
I know.
So a little fun fact for our Liane Morty, I'm still working on her name, fans. So I was listening to The Husband's Secret / reading because I am a knowledgeable person who likes to read.
That's another book she wrote.
Yeah. So another book she wrote is The Husband's Secret, and they actually reference Pete the Plumber.
Really?
In The Husband's Secret.
I read that one too. What was The Husband's Secret?
And Pete the Plumber is one of Jane's accounting people that she does.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And it actually, okay, so we know that Tom's not gay, and because he's never...
Do we?
Well, he's never alluded to in the show.
Yeah, in the show, it's like...
It's like barely even thought of.
Maybe they're just keeping him gay.
But it turns out that, I'm sure they'll never bring this up, that Pete the Plumber is the one that's gay.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I think they say that in the book.
Yeah. I just meant like in the show you'll never hear it.
I don't even remember Pete the Plumber.
For Sarah, because Sarah read the books.
Did Sarah read the books?
Sarah read the books, so she'll like that fun fact.
Oh, we love you, Sarah.
We do love you, Sarah. You got people here.
Celeste at therapy, and she's explaining the cycle of power in her marriage, which, again, textbook. And I love the way that they illustrated this, where she has the power right now because she's hurt.
I love the therapist.
And then the bruises fade, and he feels less guilty, and then he gets the power, and just that cycle.
That's so good.
So I have to ask you guys, let's go off on a little tangent here, and I'll be honest. The upper hand in fighting. You hate the drama, but who doesn't love a little upper hand?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, all right.
I love that honeymoon period where you know that you're right and you get the apology, and then there's like maybe a day or a couple days of just like really awesome, sweet attention.
Yeah, such guilt that seeps through them. However, 10 years
It's like,
later...
I wish you could hit me harder so that I get more days.
10 years later, I just have like a small fight with my husband, and I come back and he's like, he's going to be groveling. And I come back and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You were so wrong. And I'm like, whoa,
oh, that's something different. They've got to be clearly wrong, and they don't.
That takes time for them to realize, though. Like, I hate the waiting for them to realize they're wrong. It's like, he'll figure this out, and I'm just gonna sit here
when he
and wait
doesn't
for him to
eventually,
figure
you're
it
like,
out.
Well,
I have to tell you why.
the best is when you get into some sort of disagreement, and they get angry, and have a big reaction. And are you hitting that table? Can't hit that table.
I know, that's why I just picked my leg
Move
up.
that chair.
I felt it.
And then you don't react, because then you automatically win. It's so hard not to do.
I know, but it
That's
is
what I
like
did.
Worth it. Oh,
and you're just like, you're losing control right now.
I'm gonna you're saying some mean things. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and take myself out of the,
I would like to be excluded from this narrative.
Then you win.
But then every once in a while, you can't take it anymore. You're like, well,
every once in a while, like 90% of the time, I'm like,
yeah, it's so hard to keep that cool.
That would have to be a day that I took a Xanax. I'm gonna treat myself to one of my Xannies. Just take it. And then happen to have a fight that day.
Exactly.
Okay, can we talk about how Celeste really hasn't had that, like in the book, she has this vivid flashback of like basically almost getting killed. And I feel like so far...
her aha moment?
Yeah, and she keeps replaying that, and I feel like so far it's
they
kind of
haven't
like
replayed
not
it
so
at all, but they did
terrible.
show the, I think it was like the third episode, they did show him shoving her into a pillow, but they haven't replayed it like they kept reminding you in the...
Like, she could get killed. Like, right now,
book,
I don't feel like she could get killed until the therapist brings
book,
it up.
The first time you meet Celeste, she says something about, like, her first line in the book, I guess you could say, is, I'm really going to miss him when I leave him. Like, it's from the start.
Yes.
She's already planning.
Yeah. And this, she's like, what are you talking about?
How dare you?
I have thoughts on this. I like this therapist, but what she does is too forward. You're not supposed to... It's too forward. Do I agree with her? Completely. But to tell a client what to do, that's a really good way to, like, lose that client, especially when it comes to abuse, for that client to feel judged and to check out and not come back. Like,
was she
I don't think
like
that was
in the book, or are they just trying to kind of speed it up and put it into these episodes?
Well, Celeste was less resistant in the book. Like,
that's true.
Like, here she's kind of
Good
like,
point.
this is new to me.
Yeah.
And then he says the killing thing.
I do feel so, like, I can feel my heart racing in this scene where the therapist is saying things that, that you should have thought of. He's going to want custody. Do you have anything documented? Have you told anyone? And, like, she sort
I
of
love how
acts
she's
out.
like, this is inappropriate. And she's like, well, I'll give you the number to the Better Business Bureau.
And then
that's what I'm going to start saying.
to anyone that you come across
Listen,
in life.
I'm not going to get you the best price, so just come the fuck in, okay?
Yeah.
Should you be saying that to me? Listen, I'll give you the Better Business Bureau number, but when you get this price, you'll come in.
I think the bottom line of that whole session was rent an apartment, which I'm sorry, who could do? But rent an apartment.
That apartment? Okay, so...
And tell someone about the abuse.
Okay, so I loved her whole breakdown, because for anybody struggling with this in life who's, possibly watching this show, it's a really good wake-up call for people who were like, I don't document this stuff. Document your bruises. Document all that, because all that lawyer is going to say is you always said how nice and amazing he is.
Right.
And you have no proof. And that is so true. Have your proof.
It's a shitty situation.
Yeah, lawyers are shitty. Okay. Okay. Well, hold on.
All of them. All lawyers are shit.
When I say lawyers are shitty, I'm saying in the manner is, if I'm calling you shitty as a lawyer right now and you're listening, I'm saying you're a good lawyer, because that's your job. No, is it not your job to make sure that it turns around in your favor? And that's going to be any way you can. Well, that's even with sports.
Well, there's lawyers on both sides. You can. So,
but if you have absolutely zero proof,
you are.
The bottom line is, it sucks to be an abused woman, because There's not a lot of laws that protect you. You can get in trouble for abusing a child. You can get in trouble for abusing an elderly person. You can get in trouble for abusing a disabled person. It doesn't matter if you knock your wife around.
Here's why. And it's almost, okay, and I feel like part of the reason is a lot of crying wolf. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think a lot of people cry wolf.
No, there are women out there who specifically, just to get back at people, I'm not talking about the people who are actually abused.
I have to disagree with you.
Really?
Yes. The research shows that women typically, I know there are situations that they do.
That's
women
what I'm talking about.
Don't lie about abuse.
But the majority is people who are honest?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, you know more about that than I do.
Well, I think the problem is that I'm sure that a lot of them recant it and then go back, because you're
That's
staying in
true,
that
too.
relationship. You're being abused, but you're not necessarily ready to leave.
Yeah.
No, that
This
is
was
very,
awful.
very true, and I can actually relate to that. I just meant the people that would make it up. I'm not saying like...
Sir, well, by you saying that, it just illustrates that those few people that do that, it
really
makes
tampers
such an
it.
impact. Yeah, it's that's what people think.
Exactly. And I don't know. I really, really don't like when you hear that, when it finally comes out, if in a situation like that somebody made that up just for fame or talking or anything like that. It's
What
the
was
worst
that
thing in
one
the
with
world,
the cell phone? Who was that couple? It was Johnny Depp and...
Yes.
What was her name?
Amber Heard.
So that whole thing, remember when
Where
he
he
grabbed
grabbed the cell phone from her and it was like, and threw it and everything, and wasn't that turned out to be
That's
BS?
an example, but I don't...
I think it's so tacky and such
it's shitty. Yeah,
it's a real shitty move.
and you're really doing a disservice to women who are getting hurt.
That's exactly...
Yeah.
Okay, so you just literally circled around to my exact point. Like, those... And I guess it's a lot fewer than I expected, but those few people... I mean, come on. There are people really hurting out there, and it's already hard enough for them to leave.
To come forward, and then
Not be believed.
and then to be, yeah. Ugh, it's
Well,
yucky.
how about, do you love, like, when, like, cops will go to a house and there's two people that are fighting, it's a woman and a man, and it's like, do you want to really press charges? Like, do you want to really leave? Or, well, then he's pressing charges, so you both are at fault here.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And then it's like,
I know.
you're usually in front of that significant other when they want to ask that question, and it's like,
I would
don't
love
ask
to
me
talk
that or
to-
I'm going to get the shit beaten out of me.
I
Yeah.
would love to talk to a police officer about domestic calls
Really?
and their take on it. Just because
That would be interesting.
we sort of get the feeling that I get the feeling that cops are a little laissez-faire
Mhm.
about
They get a lot of drunk dials, too, I'm sure.
another couple fighting, but that'd be interesting. But anyway,
I wish there was, like, a secret word or something, because it really makes me ache for those people that are actually going through that.
eggplant.
Exactly. Foliage.
What's the word that you taught me about for a squash?
Aubergine.
Aubergine.
Aubergine. That's an eggplant, actually.
But let's get back on track here.
Okay, sorry.
Jane, that's fine. Jane goes to Renata's. Like we said, she's got that eye patch. And immediately they find common ground, which I was a little surprised about.
Yeah.
And pleased with Renata.
I love what they've
I
done with
liked
Renata's
it.
character.
You liked it?
Yeah,
I did too.
I did.
And I think that Renata softened when Jane said, look, I took him to a psychologist. I got him tested. He's a gentle young man. I'm doing everything that I can.
And as soon as she asked, has Amabella continued to speak about Ziggy? And she's like, actually, no. And so she kind of put the two and two together. I love what they've done with Renata's character. I hate what
me
they've done
too.
with Nathan's, and
I
I
do
love
too.
what they've done with Renata.
At first, I was not so sure, and then now
Me
I'm
too.
finding that I do like it more.
I think
Yes.
Renata is so used to being like, they don't like me and on the attack. So when someone comes in and offers, that white flag,
Mm-hmm.
I think that she was like more like, receptive to it.
weight
Yes.
lifted.
Yeah, like and completely on board with it because it's not an experience that she's all her relationships seem very fabricated and
That's what I love
False.
what they've done with Renata's character. Just at the moment you think she's inhuman and she's just like a crazy woman, they just show like such a human side of her
Right.
and such like a
I can
I
relate
just
to
love
her
it.
now.
Exactly.
I can too in a
Me
lot of
too.
ways. And they both say thank you and they both say sorry.
And I love that
thought
Jen
And then
was
the
like-
next day, the little exchange
Oh my
was
God,
that was
great.
amazing. I love that she pretty much reaches out to Renata and was like, listen, I can relate because my kid is like being accused of something too.
victimized.
Thank you. Victimized too. And it was really heartbreaking when she's like, Renata wasn't like, oh yeah, well, my kid's the one.
I know, she
was
was
very
about it,
cool
which
about
I think
it.
I would have been like victimized. You know, like I can see myself.
Oh, you won't victimize?
I think Renata saw that, okay, she's not just toting around this bully kid. She's like actually taking steps to find out, and it's killing her too. You know, not the same as she makes clear, but she's still saying that, okay, now I see you're taking steps to make sure. You can just tell
she's like, they're making Renata into such an understandable, relatable, decent person when you just think that she might be cray. Yeah. And as soon as that happens, they show you another side and you're like, oh no, that's human. Okay.
Yeah. In the book, there's 4 women. There's Madeline, there's Celeste, there's Jane, there's Bonnie. In the show, there's 5. And I love that. You mean that they have made Renata, you know what I'm trying to say.
I actually feel like they gave Bonnie more of a role in the book. Yes, and I like that they've taken that fat out of Bonnie and put it into Renata.
I agree. I like it. I think
you do. I feel like Bonnie and Ed have more of a showcasing in the...
Ed definitely has more of a showcasing. I think that Bonnie has just as much, if not a little less, than what was given in the book.
You know what? Maybe I just don't pay, like... Bonnie kind of flies under the radar, so I probably just don't pay too much attention to her.
She's kind of...
Like, she always has, even in the book, even in the show.
Right.
Like, yeah, pretentious, blah, 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 pretentious, blah, blah, blah.
So, this next scene I hate because, again, Perry's trying to surprise her or catch her doing something wrong.
With that monster thing.
So mad.
He does a good monster, though.
He does do a good
If you look at his feet turned in and his hands... He's a really good monster.
I'll hand it to Perry.
But it's weird.
I'll hand it to Perry. He's a great monster.
Yes. He's got his
in all aspects.
He's got his big Viagra dick sticking out of his pants when he's like,
did you take a pill? Sorry. Did you take a pill or something?
Yeah. But he flew back for the play, and then we have Ed saying, Kazowie, when he looks at Madeline. I'm like, this is why she's not fucking you. Because you say things like, Kazowie. But Reese looks
doesn't turn
stunning.
you around?
No.
Turn you on? Not turn you around. I don't know what that is.
I would have looked at him and be like, I feel completely unsexy now because you said fucking Kazowie.
Wow-wee-wah.
Yeah, wow-wee-wah. Why couldn't you just be like...
Here's some generic red stems.
Why couldn't you, like, be struck by her beauty and be like, God, you're beautiful, instead of saying something cheesy and character-y?
I love it, your cheesy red stems. That's my favorite thing ever.
Reese looks gorgeous. Is that a Dapper Jane?
I don't think that's a Draper James.
Thank you. God, I can't ever get that right.
But it didn't have flowers on it, so I don't know. That's why usually how I tell.
She looks beautiful in red.
A lot of the clothes...
That was bright pink, wasn't it?
A lot of the clothes that Reese Witherspoon wears...
Who's colorblind here?
in the show is Draper James, which is her clothing line.
Oh.
Or Dapper Jim, as I call it.
That would be so much better or on an equal level.
You know who looked more beautiful than anyone is Nicole Kidman.
It looked amazing in this episode.
Just kidding. Well, she did look beautiful.
No, she did. And you know what I liked? Is that they reused a dress of hers, which I feel like somebody that rich in a show that only has 7 episodes, they would just take the opportunity to designer after designer.
Makes it more real.
It's only the Duchess at the end, when she goes
out, when she goes out to quote dinner with Jane, she's wearing that same dress that I loved her in, like, I think episode 3, where they end up in the kitchen dancing and like
somebody's having money problems.
Making
she's stocking it away to leave.
Celeste,
she's like, I've got to wear this again.
Jane and Ziggy talking about Jane's about to leave for the play. Okay, so Reese looks Kazowie. Nicole Kidman looks beautiful. Oh, Jane.
Jane looks straight out of Hot Topic.
Yeah. Yeah. And Ziggy says that the reason he can't go is because the puppets have sex, and that's icky. And she says something that I thought was kind of nice, that sometimes good things come from icky stuff, which just makes me think of cum.
I mean, that's all I thought about.
From gooey, icky stuff.
So what song is he playing on the guitar?
That's what I wanted to know. I Googled it.
Is it from the puppet? Is it from the
Oh, I assumed she was doing the Rolling Stones.
No, it wasn't.
No, it's not.
The only thing I could think of is maybe it is the Jefferson
like
Airplane, the White Rabbit song that I told you about last time. Where I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
that's completely inappropriate for a kid and a mom to listen to and know all the words to.
You're probably
right. And so, but the words are what matters. So maybe playing, I don't know. I couldn't find it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Oh, okay. So then this next scene where Perry's wanting
Such
to
a selfish fucking asshole. I've never gotten more angry about a character during us talking and podcasting than I have about Perry. Like, this just. Oh,
I will say the way he's like rubbing her boob, it looks not.
Sexy,
I wanted it,
but
that's one of my favorite things. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I like even me.
But
I was like, oh, be late, Celeste. It's cool. Oh wait, no, it's Perry. No, be late.
It's just a caveman-y, you know. I liked it,
but it also kind of reminded me of Bridesmaids, where John Hamm is in bed with Kristin, and he's you like that? You like that?
But then she touches his big penis.
Cock.
And she does she say tree? I like your tree? Or do I like you? What does she say there?
No, she said,
like,
she said something about liking his approach, but approach is not like tree, but it's something along those lines.
I thought it was tree or trick. I like this trick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely trick. Trick makes a lot more sense.
She's like, I love your trick. And he's
I was thinking of like
down his throat.
I love your tree foliage.
I love your trick. She rubs her nips.
It did look like a tree trunk a little bit. It wasn't small.
It didn't look real, right? We're agreeing that that's not a real penis.
I mean, I bet it is.
No.
Well, I paused it and I was trying to figure it out.
Alan Ball of True Blood put that Alexander Skarsgard on a casting couch and was like, if your dick does not look like a trunk, you're out.
Really?
No.
Oh, well.
Big, lie.
But he's grabbing at her because she doesn't want to have sex with him, and she punches his dick.
She hits it with a tennis racket in the urethra.
Oh, I just thought she punched it. I didn't see the tennis racket. When you said that earlier, I'm like, why is she saying tennis racket?
She grabbed.
Because I like tennis.
Well, he was pulling her. He started pulling at her hair when she was walking away.
Hit me in the face like a real tennis racket.
What is it? If you're gonna pull my hair, at least smack my ass.
And then he crumples because his penis has been hurt.
Yeah. And luckily we don't have anything like that because that's a real target.
My dick
ours
hurts.
are
Let's
inside. You know what we should do? I think it's time we do.
I think it's time.
2 truths and 1 big little lie.
I'm not ready.
Let's play a game called
2 truths and 1 big
Little Lie.
Okay. I have our 3. Do you want to read them one by one, or what do you want to do?
How about I read the third one?
You want to read the third one? Yours.
I don't know, the last one.
Well, you're... Okay.
All right. That's the lie. Okay, third one. That's the lie. Got it.
All right.
Okay, now you're going to switch them up. And I'll just read whatever you didn't read.
Oh, good.
I'll just read whatever you did not read.
Smart, Kristin.
Truth 1.
Laura Dern has previously portrayed the mother of her 2 co-stars, Shailene Woodley and Reese Witherspoon.
Truth 2.
Vallee, director for Big Little Lies, also directed Reese in her Oscar-nominated role in Wild. Initially, Reese wanted to have a female director to lead the charge in a series led by 5 strong female performances, but in the end was convinced by HBO to let him helm the ship, which she and Vallee now openly tease each other about.
That's too much in that question. I got it though.
Truth 3. It's the top one. It was Reese's idea for show writer David E. Kelley to include Maddie's infidelity because she felt the character needed to be more than just perfect.
So, Tarin, what is the big little lie?
Can you read them again?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I was like so willing. I'm like, all right, so.
It's that one where Renee's the mom.
Laura Dern?
Laura Dern?
Yes.
Run!
It's the long one.
Yes. It's so funny that you say that because I sent my 2 to Kristin, and I do this every time where I make my lie really, really, really long.
I I go, it's number 2, isn't it? And she goes, fuck, I need to change it.
That's shortened from what I said her.
Well, I would have said that one first, but I couldn't think of all of the words that you said, so.
So it actually worked. Trickery.
That was my plan all along.
So now we get to dump beer on her head and let's make a phone call.
Okay.
All right.
Who are you calling?
I love how you open your mouth like that. Oh.
Ladies, that was 2 truths and one big little lie.
And one big
Little lie.
Hey there, buddies. If you've been listening, you may have heard we have Blue Apron as a sponsor now. Look, anyone can try Blue Apron, okay? Bok choy, lentils, miso butter, who even knows what any of that is? It just so happens that I've started my own deluxe meal delivery program. Welcome to Bethany's Boob Tube Buddies creations. Now picture this. A hot dog made with only the finest animal byproducts, heated in the microwave to perfection. Room temperature green beans, no prep needed, just a can opener and a fork will suffice. And finally, mashed potatoes made from a powder packet. It's science. If you're feeling adventurous, try my taco slopper dump dinner. Comprised of old taco shells crumbled up in a pan. Add any type of cheese you'd like. Cheese not provided in delivery. Salsa or tomato sauce, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Some sort of canned bean, like a creamy cheese. If you don't have that, just use like regular milk maybe. Let's see, ground beef or chicken, and any fresh veggie of your choice. Although none will be provided as I don't use fresh veggies in any of my recipes. And voila! Oh, and speaking of dump, all of my meals are sure to keep you regular in the bathroom, if you know what I mean. Act now for 5% off your first order. It'll probably take like 6 weeks to arrive, maybe longer. I don't really know yet. Of course, in the meantime, feel free to try blueapron.com/BTB for $30 off your first order. Next week, I'll share with you my white trash pizza recipe, sure to please a hungry crowd. Until next time, little buddies, happy eating. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
They're at the play. Celeste and Perry, noticeably absent. Madeline picturing having sex with Joseph. Tori, the wife of Joseph, is
She knows what's
staring daggers at her.
That was
She knows
so.
what's up.
I like that, by the way. That little
Her
scene, I was
staring.
like, I want
And
more.
I want more.
I keep saying
Moss,
Terry.
moss.
Tori asks her at the end if she's the woman that Joseph's in love with.
Are you the bitch?
Are you that bitch?
Are you that bitch? Because my husband be lying and I know when he be lying and he lying again.
Madeline sounds pretty convincing, but then Tori with the ultimate question, what were you doing in his car?
Which they don't show the answer to.
Right.
Like that. They're just cut to the
Madeline
car.
just starts doing the robot out of the theater.
Which makes you think like
she just
if-
starts humping the air.
to allude to the fact that you had said that Reese is the one that pushed for Madeline's infidelity. She like read it and she's like, yeah, this is great and all, but I need something else.
Well, she said she needed something to sink her teeth into, which actually...
I like
kinda-
it.
Yeah, see, I did not like it at first, but now I kind of understand.
It's
As
a
an
good
actress,
addition.
you know, Madeline, not that she's one note, but it would be hard to translate the Madeline from the book. I get it. I get it.
She's like, you know that one time I was filming Cruel Intentions and I cheated on Ryan Phillippe with Sean Patrick Thomas, the black dude. It totally made me relate to that, so let's just put that
David
in
E.
there.
Kelly's like, I don't watch that shit. We find out that poor Perry has a broken urethra in 2 spots, and the story is that it was from sex. And then Ed and Madeline get into this terrible discussion, which would make me so fucking angry, of what Ed says.
Why?
Where it's like, we never have wild sex, it's
Why
5
would
to
it make
6
you angry?
minutes. I wish we had that. Because he kind of blames her in a nice way for their lack of passion in the bedroom.
He should.
He should, yeah, that's how
That
I
wouldn't
feel.
piss you off if your husband
It would make
said
me
that
feel
to you?
defensive if I were painted into a corner like that, but I feel like the reason she was so defensive is because she knew he was right.
I don't
Yeah.
think she sounded that defensive. I
Well,
think
'cause
I
she's
would've been
like-
No, she handled it very well. And I saw a little Reese come out. She did like a face like, wow.
She does do
You know
that.
what I mean? And
She
I
does.
kind of like that because I feel like this character is...
She's like, well, yeah, I feel like you are doing that. But I mean, I actually think that, like, I felt so bad for Ed when he's like, she's like, you don't ever come on to me or whatever. And he goes, because you don't want it.
You felt bad for him?
I felt bad for him, but then all
Me
of a,
too.
But then all of a sudden I switched to, like, I'm sorry. Sometimes, you know, it happens to where it's like, well, I feel like you're not in the mood or something like that. And I'm like, well, stop feeling that way and try me out.
Right.
Feel it out.
Yeah.
I just know
Like,
that
literally.
that would hurt my feelings so bad if my husband said that to me.
If you didn't mean it. But if you meant
But he
it.
would never say that to me because...
But you know Ned means what he says.
Who's Ned?
Ned Stark. Ned Stark, you know, is a man of his word. And anybody who falls to the sword will die by my sword.
I'm talking about Nathan and Ed together, her two ex-lovers,
That's
current
what she
lover.
really wants. She wants Ed's sensibility with Nathan's dick.
Yes.
exactly.
Nathan's passion between the sheets.
But where does Joseph fall in? I want his directing abilities for Avenue Q.
Yeah. What'd you guys think about how this scene sort of ended where Ed, not Ned, says that pretending is the essence of a happy marriage?
I thought that was so good.
I know.
It is.
And I was
You-
like,
oh, you think-
oh
Yes, we're-
shit.
I definitely agree.
I don't think that has to be a sad sentiment.
It
That
doesn't.
No,
part of
absolutely
marriage
not.
is pretending.
I think it's like a suck it up sentiment. Like,
You
yeah,
live
you
with
gotta
that
do.
person every single day of your life. And I'm sorry, if we were all the real us all the time on all
Ugh, no one likes
you
that.
couldn't do that. You couldn't maintain happiness. I'm sorry. You don't have
No.
to lie to your partner to pretend.
I don't want him to really be him, and he doesn't want me to really be me.
Just
so,
don't be yourself and we can stay
So
married,
let's
okay?
just...
I think it's more of like a give and take forgiveness type thing. Like, this isn't worth us getting into a fight about.
So pick your battles.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's sort of a pick your battles, and if something's not quite working, we're just going to,
Agree to disagree.
just because for the sake of our marriage, for the sake of our family, until it becomes like so niggling that you have to
Yeah.
deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's healthy or not, but
Oh no, picking your battles is definitely a healthy choice because if you don't, then
I would never
You're
put
battling all the time.
pretending
Yes.
is the essence of a happy
I
marriage
could
in my
actually work on that.
vows, but I get it. I think we're all on the
I
same
get
page
it.
there.
Oh, yeah.
I get
But
it.
do you think that they tried to make it seem like a really sad thing in the show?
No, I
it
think the
was a sad
saddest
thing.
part was him telling her that she's a fiery person, so her tepidness gives him pause.
It gets sadder than that when she says, I don't know if you're going there or not in that.
Go ahead.
Well,
what do you want to say?
but the next scene's really funny because it's Nathan rehearsing
Is it
to
something
kick.
he
No,
says? No.
that when she's like, I made a mistake.
Oh yeah, and you thought she was about to tell
And
him.
he's like, nope, don't tell me.
He knows.
Don't want to know.
You think he knows?
He knows. Let me
There's
tell you,
no
that's
other
the
reason
opposite.
to say that.
No,
See, that's what I thought. I'm like, she's about to tell him. Why does he stop her?
because he's smart, and me, I'd be like, I'm gonna check the phone records. I'm gonna
And it comes
find
directly.
out.
Actually, you're right, because it comes directly after him saying, "You were the girl of my dreams. I get to wake up next to the girl of my dreams," and so he doesn't even want to fuck with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and what she's saying,
You're right.
yes, could be interpreted as a response to their conversation about their marriage. But
She's about to
everyone
confess.
everyone knows what that means. I don't necessarily know if she was about to confess, but in a way, she did. Clearly.
Well,
like,
she
I
did. She
screwed up.
already did before she even confessed. She confessed before she confessed, and
Yeah.
that's why he was like, "Don't want to hear anymore." That's
Mhm.
that. We're good.
I agree.
That
I
was
think that whether or not he's consciously dealing with it, he knows what that means.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But that scene where Nathan's rehearsing his Elvis number, he's like, "I'll show him who's evolved and kick his cultural ass."
Insert eye roll here.
Oh my god, he's so douchey.
I'm so over Nathan. I'm
And
so
this-
over HBO Nathan.
This is when Bonnie tells Nathan that Abigail's auctioning off her virginity, and then it cuts to
To
Ed.
Amnesty International.
Yeah, and then this scene we just talked about, it cuts to Ed outside, and that scene we just talked about. And then, yes, we've got Nathan screaming at Abigail. Go ahead. What was she
She was
oxygenating?
She's oxygenating. She's auctioning off her virginity to Amnesty International. And it's because, women are sold into slavery every day for free. So why she can't sell her virginity to create awareness for Amnesty International. Oh my God. Cue the fucking 16-year-old girl. Give me a fucking break. Blow me.
Wolf Blitzer will cum his pants for this shit. Something like that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she said like saddling or some term I was not familiar with.
She's the reason, and I am the reason I don't want a teenage daughter ever.
I will say they clothe her correctly. They do her makeup correctly.
They don't
she
age her.
is great.
No, they've definitely. Are you talking about Abigail?
Yeah.
Okay, they've definitely perfected Abigail. Down to a T.
Different from the book, I feel like it's better than the book. Like she's like that.
And I
looks at you like through the tops of her eyelids.
Yes.
Like
she definitely plays it perfectly, and I like
versus
how
a 30-year-old actress pretending to be 15 or 16.
Is that how old she is?
No, I'm saying versus.
I'm curious to how old she is in real life.
Yeah,
we'll have to figure that out. Housekeeping for next week.
Housekeeping.
But like, I like how they've added these really close conversations with Maddie and Abigail, because you didn't really get a lot of that in the book.
No.
And I like how they've added these mother-daughter
when
conversations.
she confronts her about she's not perfect.
Yes,
that was a good moment. That made my eyes water.
Yeah, me too.
Sky is a little pussy girl, starts screaming, crying. No, I'm just kidding. She's scared.
She's like, I'm breaking this shit up.
She's like, my mother is Bonnie. Jesus, guys, I'm not used to this.
Which sort of illustrates what we've already talked about, is that kids see and absorb everything that we do. And then we get that other scene that Tarin, you actually talked about, where Perry says to Celeste, which was sort of like that moment that
chills
we
down
sort
your
of like that
spine.
moment. You're lucky I didn't kill you. And then that's sort of the impetus for her
finally
looking for an apartment.
Yeah, it's that when he said that, like, even though you expect it and you know that's who Perry is as a person, the moment he said that did not send chills down your spine. You were like, oh, motherfucker.
Well, I have to admit, when he walked away kind of limping because of his dick, it kind of took the moment away a little bit. Like,
good point.
Like, it was kind of, okay, you kind of deflated that scary
pussy.
moment.
How's your urethra?
Yeah.
There's like pee shooting out. Like
why don't they make him a little bit scarier like the book?
You.
He's a little bit more threatening in the book.
Yeah, he is.
I do. Because they keep replaying that one scene where she like hits her head on the side of the couch or something. Mm-hmm. And then that keeps going into her mind and they barely show it.
She's got a really good point in that they made Perry a lot more, okay, I hate to rhyme and sound like Dr. Seuss. They made Perry scary. A lot more.
Scary Perry.
They made Scary Perry a lot more in the book, in the way that
and the show is more like Fairy Perry.
Exactly.
It's like, well, this relationship kind of works for them.
You know what? I see my brain like trying to find a rhyming word for Perry.
But like, okay, so how it's translating in the show to me is like a repetitiveness, a formula to Celeste and Perry, and you're going to literally, rotate certain formulas in the scene.
It's very transparent.
But she's right. If they were to almost approach it in the way of, you would get the scariness from the constant flashback of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the normality in the relationship.
Yeah.
Except for like one little thing. That would be.
They make it more even in the show. Like, well, this is their relationship. She gets kind of beat, a little bit bruised. It's not like he's going to kill her soon. In the book, you feel like, well, this is...
But if you think about it, actually, that's actually a great way to tell the story. I'm going back and forth, but as you guys continue to talk, I'm thinking about it. It's a great way to tell a story via television, because what Leanne Morty wants to get across is Celeste likes the upper hand. She believes that she fights back as well. This is where she's at fault, but he's constantly beating it. They're constantly having sex. Anything can set them off. And I guess in a TV setting, it feels repetitive.
Yeah.
But that's the only way to tell it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm done.
I really loved the therapist's point of view when she was like kind of laughing at her. What did you think about that, Bethany? She's like kind of laughing at her that she realized that her self-worth was made from other people, but she was hiding behind it by not realizing that she was gonna die or getting beaten or whatever.
Yeah, because I think this is my takeaway from the therapist, because I've thought this is a pet peeve of mine, of how therapists, psychologists in general, are portrayed in TV movies. They're schlubs. They're either, they're just not great. But I like what they've done with this therapist. This is the first time I felt like, ooh, that's a little over the line.
Demasiado, too much.
But this is my thinking is she knows Celeste is smart, lawyer, can be dogged in the courtroom. So maybe she feels like she can be a little more direct and a little bit tougher on her because at the root, she gets it. She should get it.
She's like, wake up, wake up.
Like a wake-up call, like
the fact that Celeste is a lawyer, and she's like, okay, so I know I'm talking to the lawyer, so I can tell her, you know what's going to happen with the lawyer if this happens.
Knows that, she's not dealing with, she's dealing with a smart woman.
Yes.
And that maybe you read people and you change your approach with different people. So, for me, I would just want to skip ahead the next important scene where Renata suggests that play date with Jane. And they're very friendly.
And doing a play date with every kid as a process of elimination.
Right. They're having their little, like...
We're friends kind of now.
Yeah, they're in on a little
My favorite,
secret.
though, is Harper, Renata, and Jane. That whole, that was so amazing.
Good. That was
my
good.
God, where Jane's being kind of mean to
It takes
Sassy.
a village. Who's got your back?
You're gonna sign a petition.
And I love
and
how
then
she's
Renee
like,
laughs. She's like,
Renata's like, touche. All right, bye, ladies.
And then you know that person that's like Harper that killed her.
Oh yeah.
She's like,
and Jane says something about like, does anyone have your back?
Yeah.
Which is kind of like Feud with where Betty says that to Hedda Hopper about her not being a real friend. It's a shame Jane.
Exactly.
Joan doesn't know. Anyway.
Joan.
Celeste viewing that
Ned,
gorgeous apartment on the ocean and it looks like she's going to take it. She wants to view it alone later. Then we get the dinner. Ed and Madeline on the way. She says she took a little something and gets there and she is so friendly.
I missed that part.
Oh, in the car?
She took something
On the way, yeah. Ed's like trying
that.
to like, all right, let's keep our cool. And she's like, well, I took a little something. So I'm assuming it's Xanax. And they're drinking a lot. Love her dress. Love that floral. I love a floral print.
Draper jeans.
Dapper Jim. Jim?
Yeah.
Jom.
It's what's it?
Dapper Jom man.
It's Don Draper's line.
Yeah. And basically Nathan, this is hard to watch, is struggling to tell them about Abigail's stupid fucking secret project.
Her unveiling.
And they don't believe it at first. And I actually kind of felt bad for Nathan in this because he's angry about it too. And he knows Madeline is going to blame him. He already said that.
It's going to be a hard situation.
Should get that
So that's
out.
why he's trying to make it more palatable, because if he doesn't, it's his ass.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't believe it at first. And then...
Wait, stay with me. Stay with me. I'm going to get to it. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Bonnie's like, like touching him
annoying.
so much, like, yeah, you got this, baby.
She starts like putting her hand over his face, his eyes, his
Sticking her
mouth.
fingers up his nose.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Nettie Eddie says that he doesn't like
Steady
wine? Well, I'm saying Ned and Ed.
I love it. Sorry. Yeah.
Steady, Nettie, Eddie.
He says, I don't like wine. Meanwhile, he's slamming wine against the counter like 2 nights before. He's like, I like beer. I'm so tough.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
They're
Strange
constantly
little...
trying
It's
to
to
prove
show
their
how
manliness.
masculine he
Yeah,
is.
it's this little back and forth. But this was, I didn't see this coming. Madeline throwing up exorcist pea soup.
Why is it so green?
Why is it so green?
So weird.
But
I love how
do
she
love that-
laughs at the last puke.
Oh, wait. So Bonnie's like, it's
Bonnie
okay.
gets
It
mad.
happened.
And she's like, I think it might be the shrimp, and then gives this like horrible smirk. It's amazing.
The third time she launches forward to make sure she gets it on Bonnie, and Bonnie's been like, God damn it!
She
No.
loses
Well,
her
I like
cool.
how at first she's like, it's only human, and then she's like, no.
That's how I would be by the third time, too. I would try and make one of you bitches feel better about it, but then if you threw up, I'd be like, what the fuck, Kristen? Tarin?
I was gonna say, why me?
Because I feel like you'd be the one throwing up.
Oh, cool. I'm glad I had to explain that.
It would be glitter.
Guys, I don't throw up. I black out. Okay.
Matt, though, and then after this abysmal dinner scene, Madeline goes to talk to Abby, and it's kind of a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I liked it.
She's saying fuck a lot, because I feel like that's what you do with teenagers. To
I
show
know.
that you're cool.
You're human.
Fucking up doesn't fix your life.
Yeah.
I make mistakes too, and tells her that she cheated on Ed. What do you guys think about that choice?
I mean, how I feel about that choice is the look on Abigail's face when she tells her. Like, I don't know how to feel about that.
Like, what the fuck, Mom? I'm the teenager with problems. Like, thanks for making it about you.
I liked it.
I kind of liked it, but
It's
then
probably
I thought...
something I would never, ever do, but I appreciate that she said that.
Yeah, and it was at a point where Abigail needed to see that her mom could be weak and vulnerable and that she would share it with her.
Yes.
Let's just hope that 16-year-old Abigail can keep it to herself.
She's like pulling out all the stops. Like, I'm just going to tell you my deepest, darkest secrets so that you don't sell your body on the internet. So
it's one of those like Hail Marys.
Yeah.
It's like that Hail Mary, like your mea culpa.
It's like shocked ya. Shocker. Don't do it.
Oh, you think I'm perfect? How about this?
Yeah.
And then these last few scenes, I was so confused about.
I love this last scene with Celeste.
Well, then you explain it because I don't necessarily get it.
Oh, she's kind of gotten to a fuck it point, at least halfway to her fuck it point, to where she like gets all dolled up, or her version of dolled up, looks amazing, and walks out, says goodbye to the boys.
Her version of dolled up.
Well, yeah, because I mean, really, she's not going to do anything important, but she still looks amazing.
Oh yeah. I know. Like, wouldn't he wonder what's taking her so long?
Well, no, like the look on Perry's face was my favorite thing ever.
Yeah,
the look on Perry's face was such like amazing. Do
you think? Oh, I almost said something bad.
You know what's funny is that I think all of these times he's always been trying to catch her, and now she's finally showing like
slipping through the cracks.
Like, do you think he'll follow her? Do you think he'll find out that way?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's act like we don't know.
Well, it could be totally different in this.
Yeah.
They've only got
that's true.
1 hour
that's
left.
What we said.
Well, she goes to the apartment. We've got some of the weird.
But I love her walkout. Bye, boys. Going to dinner with Jane.
Yeah.
See ya. No
He's
explanation.
Like,
and like his turnaround was like, wait, what? And then like
the
how he
broken
looked
penis.
Completely insecure and crazy and like.
Haven't you guys all done
that?
that?
He takes the Lay's and he puts them on the table.
Like, it's enough now.
Yeah.
Haven't you guys all done that when you've been in the middle of a fight and you go to leave? Where are you going? Out or something. Like,
yeah.
You know, like, and it's such a power move.
Yes.
And then you look at your phone like, is he going to text? Is he going to text? Is he going to call? He doesn't text or call.
Nope. Did it last week. Thought I would just run to Dunkin' Donuts. Hadn't got a text yet, so I took him to the park. Just to make it last longer.
We're just gonna drive.
Never got a text, so just went home after an hour and a half.
I'm back.
I'm
back.
My
God.
I know you were worried.
I did terrible things out there.
Ziggy dancing like a queen to that song, which I loved. Little Queen Ziggy. Which Papa was a Rolling Stone. And then some sort of weird gunshot thing. It looks like a suicide.
That was a very telling moment, though, when he, like, distinctly looks at her and says, like, Mama, I'm depending on you. Like, I think that was just to, like, show the audience, like, this is the head we're coming to.
Yeah. And that's the end of the episode. So what do you guys think about this episode?
I liked it except for Nathan holding that stupid bowl 2 inches above the table. Like, why can't it just be on the table and he doesn't have to hold it?
Why can't you be normal, Nathan?
He's got to hold something. Let's give him something to hold. It doesn't make sense that he's crouching by her.
Give him a bowl. Let her tend to her garden.
Salad bowl.
She's puddling. Let her puddle. Piddle puddle in the garden.
Such an old lady word. I'm just,
piddling
around.
Very looking forward to the next episode.
I feel like the next episode has to be... This one was kind of short. It was like 50 minutes.
It's got to be a little longer.
I feel like they need to keep going and keep going. I want more.
Well, what was interesting is the directors that they were considering beforehand, they were all approaching it differently. And the reason they actually didn't end up with ballet was because he decided he wanted to make it into a very long movie.
Yeah. And then they decided to go with the series.
Which, and I know HBO won the bidding war between Netflix.
But we talked about
that. I feel like this is a networks.
Oh, a binger.
Netflix bender.
That's what I wanted. I can't wait for more. But I can say that I'm keeping, like, I'm.
But for people
my interest is held.
For people who haven't read the book, this is such a bingeable show.
Could you imagine what people that haven't read the book like, what are they thinking
Those
about
idiots.
the end?
Well, I have a friend who
Like,
was like,
what is the setup for them when you don't know who's gonna die? Like, you don't know who's gonna die.
there's actually an article, I didn't click on it today, but it was like, do you know the mystery of Big Little Lies? And I'd be like, yeah, I do.
Read the book.
Ooh.
But like, I do have a friend that said, okay, I've watched the first couple episodes.
Natalie?
Yes.
Oh, was I not supposed to say that? I
No,
think you
you're
already
fine.
said that before. Okay.
No, you're fine. First couple episodes, and she said, she's like, I like it, but I don't know if I'm too into it. And I was like, listen, if you haven't read the book, get through it, watch the episode.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you told her to read the book first and then?
No, I told her, I said, if you haven't read the book, like, when I mean get through it, I mean like let it run and then binge watch it because you'll like it a lot better.
Got
Yeah.
ya. I think so too. Yeah.
Well, all right, ladies. Tarin, I'm so glad you came. You're
You
welcome
tore
to
it up.
come. You're welcome to come next week for the finale.
Yes, please.
And chit chat.
Be great.
I have to tell you, today I was riding around Maitland Construction and listening to the soundtrack and just trying to envision myself.
Soundtrack's
and Lake
amazing.
Monroe for like 2 seconds. That's a little small, shitty lake in Sanford.
A little
I'm
bit.
trying
The
to imagine
largest
it.
population. Oh no, I'm thinking of Lake Jessup.
The largest
Sorry.
Alligators.
population of
Alligators.
cane fishermen.
Yeah.
But I was trying to envision for 2 seconds,
Like you
Monterey.
were-
like
yeah.
I
You're
wanted
like,
that.
I'm riding around lakes listening to
And then it's done.
the intro song.
And I'm not there.
Like, I have my child in the back. She'd rather be in her crib, but you know, we gotta make it what it is.
We're riding around that lake.
Thank you
With my
guys.
aviators.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tune into our other stuff. Feud is what we're doing. The other buddies are doing Walking Dead, Legion.
They
Lots
just
of
reviewed
stuff.
Kong.
Beauty and the Beast.
We have
lots of
Better
stuff.
Call Saul coming up.
Better Call Saul.
Ooh.
We got a lot of good stuff coming up.
Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Fargo.
You and I are doing Orange is the New Black.
We're gonna do Orange is the New Black.
You're doing Game of Thrones.
I'm so excited that
We're
I got
doing
that slot.
House of Cards.
Got Game of Thrones with Adam. I'm very excited.
Oh.
So, and if there's anything that we aren't doing that you want us to do, write in, let us know, and keep listening. Tell a friend.
How
That would be the best. That'd be the tits.
That would be the tits. Thanks, bestie.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you next week, little buddies.
Bye.